YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here, back on Total War Attila, and I am ready for some frickin' revenge on this jerk. These Atropatene morons who just nuked my settlement that I'm gonna have to spend a considerable amount of time and resources fixing. So let's just say that even though this is an easy auto-resolve, I wanted the personal pleasure of killing this Atropatene army. Oh yes, yes, I'm going to enjoy this quite a lot. I don't have any really great shot cavalry here, unfortunately, because that's really my preferred method of death for these guys. But I'll make it work with what I got. So I'm going to put these numeroi kind of like right. Well, actually, let's do this. Let's put my spearmen right behind my archers, and we can put them in a defensive testudo, and then I'll put my sword infantry right behind them. I'm actually going to leave my legio on fire at will in case Assassinate Cav tries to YOLO. And then I want my scout cav, or just basically all my light cav on the flanks. I'll keep my Persian mounted warriors in the center. I need to do the research to get my Palatina Guard upgraded to a Comez because I'm getting sick of the horrible, horrible generals unit. It'd be nice to have a cav unit that's actually worth something. Just gonna kind of slowly march it forward here. Oh, they're gonna tremble before more than that. When I ride them down and destroy them in utter fullness. All they've got's Persian hurlers, Armenian spears, a Sogdian warrior, and a mercenary Dialamite, whatever they're called. Yeah, I don't know how it's pronounced just exactly, but do my best there. Okay. So this group, let's go ahead and move them forward a little more. I want to get in bow range, go ahead and focus fire some of these enemies, and then I'm wanting to use my cavalry numbers to their advantage. Okay, how far out of range are we? Just a little bit. Let's go ahead and run up into range. Get our guys ready here. And I'm gonna precision shot, flaming shot, focus fire here to try and go for max morale damage. Go ahead and go into defensive testudo here. Let's use our cavalry to harass. Let's go into flaming shot with these guys as well. So we're going point blank with the enemy hurlers, and I'm focused fire on precision. So we're going to be causing some pretty nice damage here. Here comes the enemy cav as expected. Just going for a straight retard YOLO charge. And I've managed to dissuade them from such a notion. Okay, so yeah, the enemy general's not really sure where to YOLO itself in. Let's do this. I'm going to charge it with my scout equites. Yep, so now the AI general's not going to get a good charge at all, and they're going to get destroyed. I'm going to just come in and rear charge those Sogdian warriors real quick. Let's put these guys here. Just rear charge the Sogdians with these scout equites, and it ought to be enough to get the job done. The enemy Persian noble is dying very, very quickly to my Lanciarii Senores. And those Sogdian warriors are going to take a lot of damage from the rear charge, even though it's just a scout equite. Let's go ahead and bring this mounted warrior through. Basically just keep the enemy busy here. Let's go get rid of these slingers. And let's focus fire into the back of those Dialamite warriors with heavy shot. The Sogdian warriors are losing just because they got rear charged. Now we're going to do some very nice damage to the Dialamite warriors. And with their general dead, the rest of their troops are going to be gone as well. I'm going to switch over to heavy shot here and skirmish so that the Dialamite warriors really can't cause any potential damage. We can now bring these scout cav in for rear charges. So we lost a few Lanciarii Seniores here, but nothing overwhelming. And now I'm just gonna pick the enemy apart, basically, just because I can. Just because, why not? I'm gonna chase these Persian hurlers. My bowmen are still firing away at the Dialemite warriors. These guys do not have a particularly good missile block chance, and they're getting hit by heavy shot, which has a nice bonus versus infantry. So they're going to be dying in droves here to my Sagittarii, and they have now routed. I'm gonna do the same thing to these spearmen, and let's just keep running down those Persian hurlers. Let's get a scout equite and run down the rest of those Dialemite warriors. I'm gonna go run down these Persian hurlers. So we're gonna be running down all the enemy units and then just bring up our archers to take care of the remaining enemy Armenian spears. They're not gonna be able to catch my cavalry like they want to. And here comes the fire. So again, more heavy shot. And they're going to go into loose formation to try and avoid it. It'll help them a little, but not much. Yeah, these Armenian spears actually probably have a better missile block chance than the Dialemite warriors. I can bring out some numeroi to meet them too if they think they're going to actually catch my archers. In fact, let's split our archers. Don't want to give them anything for free. Take these guys off fire at will. I'm gonna give my numeroi the pleasure of killing these guys in hand-to-hand combat. I feel like they've earned the right to draw a little blood on these Persian wannabes. So here comes my numeroi. And I imagine my numeroi are gonna work these guys over pretty badly. I can see here some of the Armenian spearmen getting absolutely gutted. Let's bring in more numeroi. Yeah, these guys are already routing. There we go. Yeah, see my numeroi chasing these guys down as they rout. I'm surprised we didn't see like a whole bunch of beheadings here. I think beheadings are a lot more common on the higher attack units. In fact, they're very common on the high attack units. How many? Only one Sogdian warrior left, so those guys are gone. I'm just going to chase down these guys as well, and we can fast forward through that. There's one Persian hurler over there that's somehow managing to not die. So those Armenian spears are as good as gone now too. Just end the battle. So that army was utterly destroyed. 3 men to go home and tell the tale of what happens if you burn my city down. Very, very good. So Atropatene has been handled there. No, I'm gonna just kill the captives. No one's gonna survive that. So now we can retake this city. To colonize it's gonna cost me a considerable sum of money and men, which is pretty dang irritating. But I need to do it because I don't want to just let this city sit here and rot. So I'm gonna have to spend quite a bit of money to get it back up to snuff. But that's the main reason why I get mad at them just demolishing it like that, because it takes so long. Both of those affect a governed province more than anything. +6 morale when defending, that's not going to hurt. +3 melee defense, we'll throw that in there too. So Ctesiphon is ours, and we can consider moving forward. I think that I hate to spend all my money because my income is kind of low right now because of all my armies, but don't really see that we have a whole lot of choice here. Let's just I'm just gonna fortify this army up here and kind of dig in and let them wait for some enemies. This general's got some skills here, so let's go ahead and start getting him built up. Surprised my income's not coming up a little faster. I mean, I've captured a lot of new provinces.
Death and honor!
Personal influence per turn, melee defense, start opening that up. And we'll do the same thing, a governor here, so this is actually... gives us more army and navy recruitment. I just don't know that I need that. This minus to corruption would probably be just as helpful. I guess since we've already spent so much money, rather than ending 1,000 turns trying to build it back up, I'll just go ahead and start dropping some buildings to help. Look at there, we got some Langobards that got into our land. They must have come in by sea from somewhere else. I don't know how else they got down here. And it's just a stack of Germanic Levy and Young Wolves. Don't really think that I'm going to be able to fight these guys off. And I could do a really long battle just damaging them really badly, but let's just go ahead and let them do their thing, and then I'll bring my army over and finish these losers off. Yeah, they've just sacked it, and they're going to just start running around, and there comes another Langobard stack kind of moving its way down. So let's get our army activated and go in anti-Langobard mode. So the Sassanids are going to come out against my sieging force at Duin. This is that army, I think, yeah, this army got real beat up, and the Sassanids have managed to levy up a whole bunch more trash troops. So once again, I'm going to have to disengage and hope that I get outside the influence of the city so that I can get away and retrain. But it looks like they are going to try and... they're either going to try and chase me or they got agents doing something. We'll see here. Because when it hangs up like that, it means they're doing something else. Let's just hope we can get away with that army. That would be best. Yeah, here they come. They're going to bring a couple of new stacks up outside Arbella, which is kind of crappy because my army there just took a whole bunch of their numbers and poured it into colonizing. So it's untimely circumstance for me, but that's okay. We'll fight them back. A couple of more solid beatings, and I just don't see how the, I'm going to fight this, because I don't really think that they have the means to fight through 2 Eastern Armored Legio, Lanciarii, Senoras, Archers, Scout Equites. Yeah, so I'm going to actually fight this one, because I think we either have a good chance of winning or a good chance of leaving these guys highly damaged at the end of this fight. Yeah, I don't think they have the wherewithal to cut through my Armored Legio with those. Legio, I guess. I could defend the towers, and I might, depending on the situation. Depends on how many openings to the town there are and where all they've deployed. If they just deploy from a couple of positions where it's easy to defend. But see how there's lots of openings here? I don't really feel like that's going to be advantageous for me. So let's see what the main town center looks like here. There's only 3 ways into it, and I have 3 fairly tanky infantry units that can guard these. So let's just kind of try and feed these guys all to one area. They may try and avoid the barricade. I'll put a troop here just in case. Yeah, my Armored Legio, like if we kind of just get them on this downhill gradient like this, they ought to hold out quite valiantly. Just do the same thing here. Let's get these guys into Testudo. And then I'm just going to keep my archers way back here. Is there some reason why my... Good grief. And then let's keep these guys way back here too, because I want them away from the archer and the onager fire, because they don't really have any way to protect themselves. As far as Scout Equites go, I'm just going to deploy these guys somewhere out here back behind the city where the Sassanids will have a hard time seeing them. so we are in defensive testudo. Let's see if the enemy tries to break down that barricade or not. I'm trying to guide them all here, so we'll see. Let's go ahead and fast forward. Their onagers firing at my tower, which is great because it'll waste some ammo. Another good reason not to defend the tower because of the onager. These mercenary Persian brigade are not like a huge threat to my armored legio, but I'd like to hit them with a couple of volleys from the Sagittarii here just to kind of weaken up their hit points. Their mercenary Persian scouts will help capture that tower very quickly, so they're not going to take a particularly large amount of damage from it. And they are going to go ahead and try and bust through the barricade, so let's get our general stationed here to bottleneck this entrance. Actually, it looks like they may go around, but I'm going to go ahead and go bottleneck that entrance. I'm going to go into heavy shot, precision shot, do everything I can to just tear down some of these Persian brigade. Like I said, the more damage we do to their hit points, the better here before the engagement. It'll just mean my Legio have an easier time finishing them off, because these guys do have decent attack stats. They just have really poor health and armor and everything else. Okay, so I'm going to halt fire here. Okay, so this Persian brigade now fighting my armored legio. Just trying to get some shots there. Okay, so they're attacking my barricade here. No big deal. Is their onager going to move forward or just sit out here? Looks like it's just going to sit out there. I'm just going to keep my scout equite hidden for the time being. I wonder how much fire will fall on my own men if I start to fire from here into these mercenary Persian scouts. Let's just find out. We'll kind of watch the drop pattern. My guys are in defensive testudo and ought to be relatively immune to archer fire. So let's just go ahead and pour in the fire from my archers and see if we can hasten the rout of the Sassanid troops. Oh, there's our target right there, Persian noble. So yeah, we're just going to pour it down. And I do have it on heavy shot. Some of you may be wondering why not flaming shot. Heavy shot actually is pretty good against horses that have a fair bit of armor, like the, such as the Persian noble. Why did my general not come over here and barricade this entrance like I had? Oh, because he's in defensive testudo. That would explain that. Oh crap, we better hurry. Probably a good thing I noticed that when I did. So the enemy general is going to be under armor-piercing fire here, and it will take its toll over time. Start to eat away at their statistics. I'm going to bring these guys in here just to kind of help garrison this spot.
Stand ready! The enemy is attacking our general!
So I'm all set up in defensive testudo here. There is a bow unit back there. I'm going to actually keep my exploratores back until that bow unit runs out of ammunition. The Persian brigade has already routed, and the Persian noble is taking damage. I'm taking relatively few losses and high kills on the enemy. And then there's a tower over here that's actually firing into the mix as well. So the Sassanids are losing a considerable number, or actually not the Sassanids, the Macron or whatever they're called. Losing a considerable number of men. That mercenary Persian brigade does worry me a little bit. We'll need to rear charge it. So I'm going to get my scout equites to start around now and come around and rear charge these troops and get rid of them. All their missile units are back here. The Persian hurlers have already wasted their ammo. The horse archers retain quite a lot of ammo at this point. I'm going to go ahead and bring these armored Legio around and hit these guys in the flank. Just There are Persian scouts up here. They have a mercenary Persian scout, so
The enemy general is dead.
enemy general's gone. So the morale of the Macron are gonna suffer badly at this point. Scout equites working their way around. I'm gonna rest them just behind these buildings where they can stay hidden. I wonder if their routing troops will make my guys visible. That was actually something that happened in other Total War games. It was kind of frustrating. I'm about to toss a lot of javelins into the flank of these Armenian spears from my armored legio. Let's watch them throw their plumbata. Let them have it. Oh, what? They don't throw plumbata? They throw like a pilum there. That's weird. I figured they'd throw the plumbata. They're throwing like almost kind of like an old school pilum there. Give it to them, boys. What are you waiting on? Christmas? Unload it. Come on.
No prisoners, men. No prisoners.
What's the deal? Oh, we're out of javelins. That makes sense. Let's put these guys up here. My scout equites are well rested now. Okay, so these armored legio can now just come up here and go into Testudo so that the remaining Sassanid horse archer, or I keep saying Sassanid, you know what I mean, Sassanid rump state, whatever they are. I'm gonna bring the armored legio over here. Try and get into the back of these guys and then reinforce my general with these armored legions. Okay, you scout equites, come on, let's go. The routing troops are like screwing up the pathfinding of my scout equites because they won't stop attacking. Don't throw your javelins into the back of the general, please. My scout equites are tossing javelins into the back of these guys, so I'll probably let them do that. Let's get a quick rear charge into the back of these mercenary Persian brigade. It's not going to do a ton of damage because I couldn't really build up a lot of speed, but the morale damage that it inflicts ought to be significant. And with my armored legions now pushing in. Well, let's get our explorators over here. Enemy horse archers are still just sitting back firing. Let's actually take our general out of defensive Testudo and retreat back over here. Let's let our armored legio fight this out. Oh, look, all this big blob's routing now. We're just going to attack the blob with our scout equites. And our explorators quickly going to destroy those Persian hurlers. No real problem there. And then this big blob over here is just going to get absolutely chewed up as it tries to retreat because it's pinned in between all my armored legions and scout equites who are racking up kills at a fantastic pace. They're going to get away with their mercenary and Persian mounted bowmen, but the rest of their troops took a pretty good beating. I'm going to make sure that these spearmen over here die before I quit the battle. In fact, let's fast forward this for a second. I could potentially go chase those Persian hurlers too, but since their horse archers are getting away, it's kind of a moot point. We will have killed their general and all their infantry, so it means that this army is going to basically be useless. Having a nice garrison here was a big help. Those two Eastern Armored Legio can deal out quite a bit of pain. 211 kills on one, 108 on the other. So not bad at all. They get their kills rather slowly, but I mean, they get them. I think we've managed to basically ruin all those units, so let's end the battle. So they'll get away with a few men here, but and their mercenary onager as well. I should have run it down with my scout equites, but it'll be all right. The mercenary onager is probably costing them more money than it's worth. Gonna go ahead and replenish these guys in case they get attacked again. Look, now they're trying to sneak an army in behind me. Figured that would come sooner or later. And here these guys are going to be able to walk through their city and actually get to me. This is frustrating. Yeah, this is frustrating. I don't guess we have much of a choice but to fight it. Because we can't get away from it. We really need to keep this army. We have that other army behind us now, which is going to cause some pretty serious irritation. I don't really have a ton of money to be training another army, but I'm going to have to. I don't really have a choice. It's kind of funny that I have all this territory. Well, of course, the Assassins are going to be getting most of their money from the fact that they get huge bonuses when recruiting, or from their they get huge bonuses basically from their tribute from the rump states. So what I'm going to do is just kind of get in the tree line and go into defensive testudo. And just kind of see if I can get the Sassanids to attack me and waste some of their ammo. This will protect me from their missiles. It'll also somewhat protect me from their cav charges because the woods will slow their guys down and make them less effective. In fact, let's move further back into the woods so there's actually a little bit of slowdown time on the Sassanid cav. I want to keep my spears in the back and then my general back here as well. And then I'm kind of thinking about just hiding all my cavalry up here in the woods and trying to use them at an opportune moment. Let's see what we can do. It's going to be tricky at best.
The enemy has been spotted.
Why are my Equites Promoti not hiding? Because they're not in the woods, that's why here. Thanks. There. Now they can see my Lanciarii Seniores, so hopefully they'll come in and go at these guys here. They can see that unit there for some reason. Not really sure why, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to try and walk over here a little farther from where they last saw my cav, just so that hopefully we can kind of stay away from their spotting. We really want them to come after my troops in the center. Really don't want their cav to see me. Those are Lockmit scouts, so they'll have excellent spotting. Crap, they've spotted me. Come on! Really? I should have stopped moving. Now my only choice is just to kind of run away, which is also not going to work because their cavalry is going to be faster. So what we're going to do is just sacrifice one unit and get away with the others. Because that Lockman scout's going to be able to outrun me. Okay, I'm going to have to sacrifice another unit, so I'm going to turn this scout around to hit the Persian cataphracts. Why? Their cav must have speed upgrades, because they're catching me with ease here. Come on, this sucks. I'm going to have to reposition all these guys, or else I'm going to get charged in the flank.
An ambush.
Okay, I'm just going to use my cav to kind of hold these guys off for a second while I reposition my army. Don't have much other choice, so all my cav is gone. I should have hidden it somewhere else, I guess. It's irritating. I'm going to see if my... Well, I need to get in brace position quickly before they charge. I wanted to throw javelins, but they've got cav inbound, so... Definitely time for me to get into a braced position. So I'm going to move all my spearmen forward. Get my general into testudo. So their cav is just going to YOLO in. into my braced formation, so I'll just move my spears forward. They're shooting their own guys in the back. If we can beat down this cavalry, that'll be a big help. I don't know what happened to all their infantry. Did it chase me over here as well? Okay, so their cav's kind of peeling off here because it's getting beat down. It'll come back for another charge, though. Okay, here comes some of their mercenary Dalamite warriors. It's kind of a problem because they've got multiple units and then cav to charge me in the rear with, and then tons of archers firing at me as well. So if I come out of... I would like to rear charge all this infantry, but if I come out of my formation, it's going to get my guys shot up very badly. They're charging their own guys in the back kind of here, fortunately for me, though. And let's just keep chasing their cav with my spearmen every time they charge, and we'll just kind of see if we can outlast these guys. It's not going to be easy, but we'll do what we can. And eventually, like, see their horse archers here fired out all their ammo. If we can kill a couple of these Persian scouts over here, it's going to be really helpful because we can then try and wrap around with some of our infantry. Mercenary Persian mounted warrior would be a great unit to get rid of. Just going to start throwing spearmen at all their cav so that we can pull them down even faster. My general's under fire, but he's in the forest. Should be okay. Let's pull my spearmen back out of this fight again. Okay. These two Legio Comitatenses can come out. Not too worried about getting rear charged by a horse archer. What I am worried about is those Persian archers shooting my guys in the back, which they will do. Try and brace here against these Persian cataphracts that are just roaming around back here. I'm going to go ahead and start charging at them with the spear unit. Another over here. Okay, we've got the Sassanids surrounded, but my guys are going to take heavy fire from behind, and now they're actually going to get rear charged too. Wow, just the amount of bow fire is going to be challenging here. If I manage to catch these cataphracts without them getting a charge, I might have the opportunity to kill them here. And it's definitely worth my while to get rid of these cataphracts. They're trying to pull away from me, and the AI is being successful. Yeah, they got away from me. We need to kind of keep pushing in the surrounding maneuver here. These archers over here are out of ammo. I'm going to send my general over to kill them. We're going to need to kill those Persian cataphracts. They'll pop out of hiding here in a minute. Their troops are starting to rout here in the center, but I think their general's still alive. There they are. Crap. I'm not going to get into defensive testudo until, well, the enemy pulled off their charge. Okay, the enemy general is going to rear charge my infantry here, and it is going to be devastating. Devastating. Definitely bad. Okay, the enemy cataphracts committed, so let's commit to them. Commit to destroying them, that is. They're starting to run out of ammo, and they're going to have to try and grind it out against my Legio Comitatenses, who are in that defensive position. I need to defend my back lines here from that Persian cataphract. It is badly damaged, but a rear charge could be all it takes. These mercenary Dalamite warriors are kind of a problem. Okay. That Persian cataphract is hiding again. We got to protect my general from a potential rear charge. Now their general's into the fight over here. Let's pull these guys out of formation. Get in here. Chase those cataphracts.
The general has been killed.
That's good news. So we managed to kill their general, so we might yet pull this off. If we can get rid of these Persian cataphracts, that's the last of their rear charge threat. Man, just think how much handier it would be if I had a Comez rather than a stupid Palatina guard. Okay. Enemy troops are starting to give way. Just poured on thick, so I'm kind of surprised we managed to win that, to be honest, but we did manage to win it. Might have to name this episode Sassanids Strike Back, because, man, them and their rump states have really pushed back on this turn and caused me some serious problems. I'm going to lose a considerable number of units there, but we got a lot of kills. They lost over 1,000 men when they outnumbered me, I think, pretty heftily. Going to lose some important units, though. Lost all my cavalry and a couple of Legio Comita Tenseis. I am going to steal some of their men to replenish my own. And hopefully they don't have any more armies sitting around, because I can't defend myself again. That was about all I had left with that army. Really need to get them back into friendly territory. Just not quite sure how the Sassanids are sustaining the type of beating that they're sustaining. Economically speaking, you would think that they would be in pretty rough shape at this point. How am I... Okay, so my income went up. I looked at my food for a second. I was like, really? I'm making 600 talents? That seems a bit extreme. Alright, so we're going to head down here and face down these Langobard scum. And we're going to have to repair the damage done to these structures. Of course, I can't reach the Langobard scum, which means they're going to run away and try and do something like, for instance, if they go here and hit Macedon's only city, they'll end up getting rid of my client state in one fell blow. So I think I'm going to go ahead and auto-resolve this. So that was good. Killed all their forces, didn't take many losses. I could loot and occupy and get some money, but I don't think I'm that desperate for money. So I'm just going to do it. I need to just keep taking away cities from the Sassanids. That's going to be my key here. We got to take away their ability to retrain and to fight. Take away everything they've got, basically. So I'm going to go ahead and misdirect this army. See if we can keep the Sassanids from doing much. This army has all its movement points, but once again, I'm lost all my movement points trying to get away here. We did hinder this army, which is fortunate. We might be able to get away. Just really need to get back into our territory. I don't know why our movement... we may have gotten hindered by the enemy agent. That's probably why. Okay, so this army can now maybe crash into some more Sassanid territory. We've got a few problems coming, though. We've got a couple of Sassanid stacks here, but we should be able to defend against them relatively easy. Plus, I have this army. The biggest problem I have at the moment is that these dirtbags went marching across the desert behind me, and I don't have much by way of a garrison anywhere over here. I think what I'm going to do is raise a force here. Replenishment +1, research rate +5, whatever. If you're going to be there, we'll make it worth it. Let's raise an army with this guy, and we're going to put him in the settlement. Could recruit some mercs here, like some camel warriors or something would be pretty handy. These guys have quite a bit of upkeep, but This would be really handy in defending the settlement. Just gonna hire up a few mercenaries while I train just a couple of cheap troops to help. Whoa, those Eastern Army Legio, they got some upkeep cost. Of course, all my infantry does, apparently. Well, no wonder my money went down so quick.
Rome needs good fighters.
All we need is just a few troops to hold this off, because these guys are going to be hurting from desert attrition. So that will help us take care of that, and then basically we can attack the Sassanids here. They are fortified, though, I think. Yeah, I think the Sassanids are fortified here. So, no sense in attacking them fortified, actually. I'm just going to disengage from that. And I can't... yeah, I can still fortify myself. So I'll fortify here, so they either have to attack my town, which will be hard for them to break, or they'll have to attack my fortification. This army right here, we've got to slow them down for the time being, unfortunately. And I used my spy on the other army. We might be able to... let's see what we can do here. Good, we succeeded. I don't know if it's on guard -10. Yeah, I don't know what it's gonna do to them. Tired, disabled. So we'll help slow them down. Anyway, I'll see you back on the next episode. If we can just get rid of this little stack, I'm gonna punch through these guys and then get rid of this Macron army. This army here can punch forward to Gabala, which is one of the cities that is that Macron or Aron? Yes, Macron. I think Aron was the one bugging me or begging me for peace. I wonder if we could just turn them into our own puppet state at this point. That'd be pretty handy. I think our spies level will clear up. Ruin provisions, a foreign army, that'd be good. Give him that ability. Anyway, HeirofCarthage signing off for now. Hope you all enjoyed it.